Hello everybody, I'm Hacklebeast and this is week 5 of the Swedish Brood Wars Initiative's Nation Wars. Show the game overlays. In the bottom right hand corner, we have TechnicS as the yellow Zerg. In the top right corner, we have TrutaCz as the purple Zerg. So, right off the bat, we're going to see the captains slash aces for these two teams go at it in a quite the exciting game Series 1 of Poland versus Eastern Europe. This is week 5 of 6 in the regular season, so we are coming to a close and we'll be soon moving into playoffs. Teams jockeying for position. The top two teams will be advancing to the playoffs, where the bottom two teams in each group will be eliminated. And these two teams right now are 2 and 3, with Russia at 1, Eastern Europe at 2, Poland at 3. I would like to explain to you guys how what the playoff standings look like. But ZVZ's not the matchup to do it in. ZVZ got to be paying attention to TrutaCz's 9 pool. So just know that right now these two teams are 2 and 3. One's going to go through, one's going to get eliminated. Some other stuff can happen. We can talk about that later. But this game very well may be the deciding factor as to whether we will see Eastern Europe or Poland in the playoffs. It would be quite a surprise. It's a surprise for either of these teams to not make it, considering how good they are, but it'd be a special surprise if the third place team, Poland, the returning champions, was not able to make it into the next round of Nation Wars. So, change this a little bit. TrutaCz's first lings are coming out. He did scout in the wrong direction with his first overlord, but it won't matter too much, as by the time the lings get here, these two overlords will have met in the middle. And indeed, he can see the overlord, so he knows which way TechnicS is going to be. Can send his guys down in that direction. TechnicS going for a 12 pool and not placing the hatch in his base. Noteworthy, only when it's TechnicS, as this is the very standard thing to do for a player who goes 12 pool. And his lings are barely going to be out in time. Going to pull some extra drones just in case. The hatchery can act as a little bit of a liability. You want to have a little bit of an advantage in these fights, and we're going to go straight at it. There was no dancing around at all. TechnicS just going in for the attack, then immediately backs off. Does not like the look he was getting. And okay, I was wondering if he had pulled the drones back to miting. That would have been a very aggressive move on his part, but no. Still has 2 drones here. Drones are quite nice. They don't tank damage because the Zerglings, unless they're specifically targeting the drone, will not attack them. What they do is they have a little bit of extra damage output themselves, but almost more importantly, they disrupt the pathing of TrutaCz's lings. So you're doing a little bit more damage, but more importantly, the opponent's not doing as much damage to you. And now TechnicS, he's got his hatchery up. He can start making Zerglings from this too. And once that hatchery finishes, those drones, those drones start to become unnecessary because you can outproduce your opponent in ling numbers. But TechnicS taking a pretty big hit here as speed finishes for TrutaCz, able to get a great engagement. But will TrutaCz's speed be enough to overcome the numbers game? I mean, he's bringing in more lings. He's confident that he can make something happen. And, I mean, he's a superb micro to this point, but you just can't win forever in these engagements. There aren't that many injured lings. It looks like a couple in yellow and only 1 in red. Now going to try to bust up the ramp, but no. TrutaCz's will be turned around. TechnicS just looking for an opportunity to deny his opponent's advantage in speed. We can see TechnicS getting up his creep colony, getting up his spire. Obviously, very common for a 9 pool player to do this, because you're behind. You don't have that hatchery, so you have to use what advantages you do have, or you have to use what advantages you do have, and you have to overcome what disadvantages you have. The disadvantage only has 1 hatchery. cannot produce lings at the same rate as TechnicS does. So you're going to need something to make up for that. Almost all players put in a creep colony. Can make that a sunken if his overlord scouts or his ling scout that there's something moving out. He'll have plenty of time to do that. And actually that's rather smart. You do see some players make the sunken colony immediately, but in a game that comes so close in build orders and whatnot, very nice to see him leave it here. Save the extra 50 minerals. So that's the first thing you saw. And the second thing you saw was the Spire. You got the fast gas anyway. You want to be able to use it. Your opponent's gas is going to be much later now. And in fact, TechnicS pulled guys off of gas. Interesting. Now they're back on. But he got the layer and then stopped to throw down the evolution chamber and a spore colony. When you go 12 pool, your Spire isn't that much later. It's a little bit later. But normally you can get away with just making a few Scourge at first, and then hope that your opponent does not have godly 3 Mutalisk micro. Oh, TechnicS is going in now. Is there going to be enough? Combination of Sunkens and Mutalisk can do a lot of damage? Yes, it was enough. You just need to live long enough to let the Mutalisk do damage, not let any of his drones die. He does not have a whole lot of drones to lose here. And TechnicS thinking about going back in. The Mutalisk come back. This is what TechnicS needs to do. He's got speed, so these lings are dangerous. And the more he attacks, TrutaCz has to defend. There's nothing else TechnicS can really spend his money on. He doesn't have a Spire right now. So he's going to counter TrutaCz's Spire not with his own, but he's going to counter the Spire with just lings. Kind of like vultures. When you see mech versus 2-hash Mutalisk, it's kind of in that same regard with what the lings are trying to do here. They just want to pull the Mutalisk back, and if the Mutalisk don't pull back and decide it's not worth it, to make TrutaCz pay for it. You can see TrutaCz, he's doing some nice drone drilling. Yeah. That was bad. That was bad for TrutaCz, but it could have been a lot worse. Good drone drilling is going to keep him in this game for now, along with his Mutalisk count. Now we do have TechnicS heading the Spire up. The Spire's a little bit far away from the Spore Colony. Surprised he didn't place it here. Not right next to the Spore Colony, because that would potentially disrupt mining, but just far enough over to make a gap. The Mutalisk may or may not be able to get in there. Speaking of the Mutalisk, there they are. They saw the lings moving out, and yeah, this is what TechnicS is gonna do. Just keep sending lings. You're forcing TrutaCz to either eat drone losses or to use his Mutalisk defensively. Either way, that's a win for TechnicS. Even if those lings did nothing. Even if those lings did nothing at all, you're still preventing the Mutalisks from noticing that your Spire is exposed. Not that it matters now, as the Spire is up. TechnicS only getting his second gas now, so he doesn't have this huge reservoir of gas to make a big bunch of Mutalisks. He was spending a lot of resources on these Zerglings, and that is the deficit of doing that. You can't explode onto the. You can't. Excuse me. As soon as your Spire finishes, you can't explode with the Mutalisk production. You have to climb a little bit, but that's gonna be fine. We still have similar supply. But TechnicS has these spore colonies, and spore colonies are going to matter a lot. It just opens you up. You don't need to. You can be very cautious with your Mutalisks because you know your opponent cannot be. Or excuse me, you can afford to not be cautious with your Mutalisks because you know your opponent has to be cautious. If you go and attack, the opponent can't counterattack. Otherwise, they're just going to eat a lot of spore shots, and it'll be an overall good trade for you. They have to come defend. And if you can fly in, pick off 4 drones, and leave before the opponent can retaliate, great move. Absolutely great move. My mic has static like hell? Just reading the chat now. It went away, cool. Alright. After this set, I'll go and plug it in a little bit better just to make sure it's not a bad connection, because that's really all I got. TrutaCz realizing that in fact the Spire is vulnerable, and TechnicS, he doesn't he does have a Mutalisk count. I don't know if it's going to be enough. He's gonna have to rely on the Scourge to help out a little bit here. Okay. Okay. I don't think TechnicS can defend this. I think he's going to end up losing his Spire, and man, I in fact did not watch this replay beforehand. I was not. I was just guessing that maybe placing the Spire there was going to be a better decision. Maybe it won't matter. Maybe it won't matter as TrutaCz is moving away. The Spire is under half health. I'm really surprised TrutaCz didn't just go for it and try to pick it off. He does have his hatchery up, but he's not. He doesn't have the drone count, and he's not mining the gas. In fact, he's building up a lot of lings. It's looking like TrutaCz does not want to play economically here. If he wanted to play economically, he obviously would have transferred from a couple of drones down at least, and then gotten the geyser. Instead, the extra hatchery is just for the extra larva to make lings to go for the ling bust, which can be quite effective. Obviously, spore colonies cannot shoot down, so if the lings can snipe off enough spore colonies, TrutaCz can use his Mutalisk advantage to strike a great blow here. He's going to try to pull the Mutalisks away, or at least tax TechnicS' attention. He has to stay back here to defend against the lings, but it gives the Mutalisk free reign to snipe the Spire. Spire goes down for TechnicS, and all the lings are dead. Yeah, it looks like TechnicS is just going to go for a counterattack. This is the power of the spore colony right here. TrutaCz does not want to just kill off some drones. He feels compelled to go back and defend instead of engaging TechnicS spore colonies. And now how many drones can TechnicS pick up here? There are some Scourge. Scourge don't land any hits. Drones are going down. Here comes the rest of the Mutalisk force, and TechnicS is going to be forced to back up. A TrutaCz, a little bit of a miss micro there. In a retreat situation like this, he should be able to get a lot of Mutalisk shots off. But he's turned around with his Mutalisks a little bit too late. So TechnicS Mutalisk will all be out of range. Ooh. He would have been able to easily do 200 damage worth. 200 damage worth against the Mutalisks. Possibly killing too, just depending on how the shots bounced, but Alright, Spire. The Spire's being restarted, but he's restarting it in a spot where he can still be hit by Mutalisks. Mutalisks can totally hit the Spire from here. Like, why didn't you just put it here? And then it's safe. TechnicS, you built another spore colony here. Why don't you put it right back where it was? Then it'd be safe over here. Alright. When you look at the supply, it's 41 to 40. Very, very even. But again, the spore colonies. The supply does not reflect how valuable these spore colonies are right now. It frees TechnicS up to do stuff. We saw him go in for drone snipes. He's gotten drone snipes off on TrutaCz multiple times now with his Mutalisks that TrutaCz has not had the same opportunity to do. Oh? Are you scouting or are you building? Oh, we are building. Secret base going down for TechnicS. And TrutaCz really wants this. He has so many Scourge out right now. But in engagements like that, fine. He picked up 2 drones, didn't lose anything. I guess that is one way you can make TechnicS very defensive. Having a huge bank of Scourge here that just compels TechnicS to stay in his base. Man, TechnicS, why are your spore colonies placed so badly? TechnicS, I know why this one's placed badly, because he wanted like a little bit of a wall, but here we go. Oh, eating a whole mess of those Scourge hits. TechnicS probably didn't realize exactly how many Scourge there were so many. But TrutaCz still cannot overcome 2 spore colonies right now. He doesn't have any upgrades on his Mutalisks. He only has a control group? Maybe no, not even a control group. Only 8. You can't overcome... Or, excuse me, you can't use your 3 force Mutalisk advantage to overcome 2 spore colonies. It's not going to work. TechnicS, this secret base is done. Wants that 3rd gas. We'll see. I actually don't like the decision from TechnicS that much. Where TrutaCz has the bigger Mutalisk numbers. TrutaCz has free map control. It's like This has all the hallmarks of a bad idea. Because not only does TrutaCz have the map control, so his Mutalisk can get over there and pick it off easily. Easily. And then TechnicS can counterattack and get something, but really, it's TrutaCz with the map control right now. Map control, not important as important as EVZ, but it's worth something. In combination with that, TechnicS is in a better position. He doesn't need to go for the hidden base, which I'm pretty sure that Mutalisk just saw. Oh yeah, that Mutalisk saw. The TrutaCz is sending everything down there, so this is what TechnicS gets out of it. He can go and... Ooh... Was that like an ambush? Was he trying to ambush there, faking as if he was going to the expo and then trying to hit TechnicS Mutalisks? Anyway, he definitely shouldn't send all of his stuff over there. He should just send a few Mutalisks, or even better, just a few Zerglings to pick it off. An odd decision for TechnicS to go for that hidden base. Meanwhile, the fact that the Mutalisks were out of position means that TechnicS can go for this. Not as out of position as they should have been if all the Mutalisks had gone over. Ooh, nice micro there. Not even stopping and not taking the Scourge hit. It got close there. It looks like TechnicS is going to be able to run away, but this time TrutaCz will not mess up the Mutalisk micro, and he is going to be able to close the distance. Sitting right on top of TechnicS Mutalisk. TechnicS, is he going to lose all of them? Oh, TechnicS, your hit and run style is going to come back to haunt you, and yes, every Mutalisk will die. I think TechnicS might have stopped that on purpose just to kill a Scourge, because that's all that Mutalisk could do at that point. But TechnicS, he's lost all of his Mutalisk force. He's going to lose his hidden base once these Zerglings are done with it. Oh, TechnicS. He does have 12 supply incoming. It doesn't show it yet, but it's on its way. And this game should be over. Wow, those Zerglings are actually able to take out the hatchery before the Mutalisks get there to defend it. Pretty close. Pretty dang close. Really, TechnicS should have no problem with money. Even if that hidden base had died, it wouldn't matter. He had drones protected by spore colonies, but the spore colonies weren't quite in the right position. He shouldn't be at disadvantages like this, but he's forced to run away and eat a lot of hits, and he's forced to run away because he had a slight Mutalisk disadvantage. Because his Spire got killed. Because it was misplaced. Like, oh, building positioning. Alright, going in for another counterattack. I like it. TrutaCz has had to deal with constant harass from Zerglings, then Mutalisks, now Zerglings again. Unfortunately, the Zerglings aren't being quite controlled very well, so going to be picked off. A few more Zerglings trying to find something here. I'm not going to find anything. Still a very tight game. TrutaCz's armor upgrade has finished. And, excuse me, TechnicS' armor upgrade is finished. So is TrutaCz's. It doesn't look like either of them are going for another attack upgrade or for armor 2. They're both going to just be on one armor. Man, TrutaCz really doing a great job. If this spore colony was up here, TrutaCz would not be doing this. Or if he did do it, it would cost him a lot more, but man, spore colony placement. Alright. Packalings, just short of a control group, it looks like. Nope, it got scattered out by these lings over here. 15 kill Mutalisk, 16 kill Mutalisk, quite nice. Most of those being Zerglings, as TechnicS has sent a lot of them, and looks like TrutaCz really doesn't want TechnicS to be re-expanding here. He will see it. He will see it 3 times over. Man, this is quite the close game. TechnicS economy has been harassed by TrutaCz. Maybe not quite as much as TrutaCz has been harassed by TechnicS, but a good amount. Enough to keep it competitive. And which one's worse? The more economic damage that TrutaCz has taken? Or the more Mutalisk damage that TechnicS has taken? I don't know. Oh, the Scourge coming in again! Oh, man, those Scourge. They all hit, but it's hard to tell exactly how cloned they were. It looked like they were all hitting the same couple Mutalisks. So it might have not been that bad. I don't think it was that bad. Really? There were 3 Overlords. Wow. Alright. The power of the 3 Overlords unable to deter TechnicS from re-expanding here. And they will all be killed, along with the Zerglings. That's not enough to supply block TrutaCz, right? No. He's still fine on supply, but... Oh, Mutalisk right out in the middle of the map. Still 0-1 for both players. Who has the more Mutalisks here? It looks like TechnicS does, but it's just because they're more spread out. Reinforcement Scourge coming in for both players. Oh, neither of them get hits with them, it looks like. TechnicS dodging the bullet, literally dodging the bullet multiple times there, as it should have gotten hits, but it looks like TrutaCz will be the one to back out. Didn't have the full bore of his Mutalisks. Meanwhile, TrutaCz wants a hidden base of his own. So we have dueling hidden thirds. Obviously, this one's not hidden anymore. TrutaCz very well knows about it, but this is evolving into... It's an awkward game. It's an awkward game because these 4 bases are so spread out. And all of these bases, except for TechnicS in the bottom right, are so vulnerable to Mutalisks. 0 defenses, 0 spores, 1 spore colony. It's a very odd game. It's an odd game where the Mutalisks may just never meet up. It's constant base trade, and it's like a weird game of chicken. It's like a weird game of chicken. Alright. TechnicS moving in with just 3 Mutalisks. A little bit of drone harass. Looks like, ooh, both of the Scourge hit the Mutalisk. It certainly looked like one of them hit the Overlord, but no. These Overlords have no damage. Man. TechnicS going in here. The majority of the Mutalisks for both players are heading to the top left. TechnicS discovered it. TrutaCz went to defend, and not quite in time to catch the Mutalisk, but TechnicS turning right into them. He didn't realize it. Oh no, TechnicS! Yet again, we're gonna have a situation where a lot of Mutalisks are killed on the retreat. That's 4 Mutalisks at least. 4 Mutalisks at least. The TechnicS throws away there, but he did take out that top left. Cannot ignore the fact they took out the top left, and some of the Mutalisks just retreat right into attack. Because that's the way Eastern Europe rolls. There is no such thing as attack. There's no such thing as retreat. There's just attack in a different direction. But does he have enough Mutalisks? It's still so close on the supply. So close on the supply. And I'm waiting for TechnicS. TechnicS is in a special class of player that is not afraid to go hive. I'm keeping an eye out on it, but I think this game is a little bit too hectic to go hive right now. You need stability to go hive. You need to feel I'm going to be safe for the next 10 minutes, not 10 minutes, but the next 6 minutes. And TechnicS does not feel that right now because TrutaCz is restless. Just constant attack, constant attack, constant attack. And the Zerglings are going to be able to pick up this base before the Mutalisks get there, most likely. TrutaCz, oh, he kind of led TechnicS over here, but it doesn't matter. The hatchery goes down. Both of the players lose their corner expos yet again. Well, technically, he loses it yet again. TrutaCz just loses it for the first time. Zergling run-by. These Zergling run-bys are so dangerous. One mishandle of a Zergling run-by, you can lose the game. You can lose the game very quickly. And is TechnicS handling this? He's going for an attack. Is he gonna just base trade it? He's base trading it. He's sacrificing his main. I guess he doesn't care about a lair or a spawning pool or an extractor when he just wants to make Mutalisks. Oh, the extractor would be helpful for making Mutalisks. But TechnicS, why? You have You have 10 more supply at this point in the game! Is it going to be enough? The Spore Colony comes up! TrutaCz is going to have some kind of static defense! TechnicS just wants this game right now! Those Lings have done so much damage if TrutaCz can hold! Even if it's a trade, the main for the natural, that's going to work out pretty well for TrutaCz. TrutaCz is not mined out! And oh no! Was this a huge mistake from TechnicS to allow the Zergling run-by to kill off every single building in his main? I mean, the main was mined out. Not almost, kind of. It's weird. It's like there's some mineral patches missing, and then this patch has more than half left. It's kind of mined out in a way. The layer goes down. This is what TrutaCz has. Excuse me, this is what TechnicS has. And it's not damn defended by spores. TechnicS still ahead, barely in supply. Just barely in supply. But it's fine, he's gonna rebuild his secret hidden base. Which is immediately going to get scouted out and killed! TechnicS! You could just expand over here! This base is a lot safer! I mean, it just died, but it's a lot safer compared to this, which has died twice, right? It's like, do I expand to where he killed off my base twice, or just once? Oh no. What I really want to see TechnicS do is do some, like, stupid sneaky shenanigans of, like, putting the hatchery up here so that the spores, like, cover both bases and then mine the gas from the top because he doesn't care about the minerals. That'd be hype. That would be hype. But TrutaCz still has a Mutalisk count. TrutaCz finally got 2 armor. Finally got 2 armor. TechnicS only has 1. Can he even afford another? No, he can't afford another armor upgrade. It's only on 1 gas. I think that 1 gas, well, it won't hurt him that much. This is depleted. Is this one depleted too? No, it's almost depleted. Maybe that's why TechnicS felt it was worth giving up this base, because the gas wasn't going to help him out too much. It's so little gas advantage right now for TrutaCz, but he has a gas advantage. That's what matters. It's small, but it's there. TechnicS is a freaking insane. Alright, Mutalisk flying up. There is still an extractor here you could pick off, but it's not even worth it right now. These Mutalisks, the time for the Mutalisks to move and kill stuff is a very subtle, very embedded resource right now for these 2 players. And wasting the resources to kill this in terms of Mutalisk time, because TechnicS got to pay those Mutalisks by the hour, or by the minute, I guess would be more. It's not worth it. It's going to cost him more time. It's going to cost him too much to take it out. So, not even worth kicking out that extractor, even if it means that TrutaCz is going to have to spend another 100 minerals to get gas here at a later point. Which, I mean, TrutaCz doesn't exactly have a lot of minerals. It could make a difference. But no, not worth it. Not worth it for these Mutalisks. Is TechnicS going to make a stand here? It's looking like it. Stationary Mutalisks is very significant. Like, he just does not want to lose this base. How good is his Mutalisk micro? Oh, got some early Scourge hits, more Scourge hits, more Scourge hits! He hasn't dodged a whole lot here! Oh, he has dodged almost none! I think almost every single one of those Scourge hit, and they were all spread out because they came in increments or because TrutaCz had micro. Either way, huge blow for TechnicS to not be able to. Both players so good at taking out Scourge, but the one slip up in terms of taking out Scourge will be the end of this game. TechnicS GG's. Wow. We are starting off the day with a 30-minute ZVZ. And it was a damn good 30-minute ZVZ. Alright. Is it back up? Oh, fingers crossed, fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Damn, it's not back up. It should be back up pretty soon. Because it's only like 5 minutes, and it wasn't immediately before the game ended. It was a little bit. Alright. Alright. Well, I guess I'll take this time. To talk about playoffs. To try to talk about playoffs. That's not what I wanted. Okay, so Poland is 2-2. Poland's 2-2. Eastern Europe is 2-1. Right now, the remaining games, they have these ones versus each other. They both have to play Asia Pacific one more time, and then Eastern Europe has to play Russia. That's it for those are the 5 games, or 4 games since it's twice, but that's it for Eastern Europe and Poland right now. The winner, in effect, the winner of this series is guaranteed at least a second place spot and gets in. There's a weird scenario where Eastern Europe gets a 3-4 in this clan war, and then they sweep Russia. They lose this war 3-4, and then they sweep Russia, and then they can still come out ahead against Poland, but you're not going to sweep Russia. It's not an option. Eastern Europe has to win this. If they win, they're in. If Poland wins, they're in. Pretty much. And Russia's in. The exception to this is Asia Pacific, because that works out. Eastern Europe going on or Poland going on works out if the last 3 teams, Russia and Eastern Europe and Poland, all beat Asia Pacific. They all beat them once. Asia Pacific's 0-3 right now. And sorry to all the Australians watching right now, Asia Pacific's kind of a weak team. They shouldn't beat Eastern Europe, Poland, or Russia. But if they did, this entire group is thrown into chaos. Any 2 of those 3 teams, Eastern Europe, Poland, or Russia, could go on. Russia could be eliminated if they lose to Asia Pacific. If they win versus Asia Pacific this week, they're secure. They're fine. But if they lose to Asia Pacific, and Asia Pacific plays a serious upset role. Anyway, that's what's going on. The winner of this, pretty much, the winner of this game goes on to the playoffs. The loser is eliminated, unless Asia Pacific. Alright. So, in the bottom right is TechnicS. He is the brown Zerg. Control X, Control V, and that is the 5 o'clock position. And in the bottom left is the orange Zerg, that is 7 o'clock, and that is TrutaCz, who is up 1-0 in this series. Alright. Hell of a game. There were so many little things. That would have made that game a lot easier for either player. If TrutaCz hadn't messed up with his Mutalisk micro in the very beginning, where his Mutalisk went a little bit too far beyond and could not pursue TechnicS the first time, TrutaCz would have won that so much faster. If TechnicS had slightly better building position in one of 3 different cases, the game could have gone completely differently. If TechnicS had decided not to grow enormous balls of steel and take a hidden expo when he had no business taking a hidden expo, game could have been completely different. TrutaCz doesn't scout that hidden expo, game could have gone completely different. So butterfly effect right here. So many very small things would have radically changed how that game would have gone. And this is what you expect. TrutaCz and TechnicS are 2 of the best ZVZ players right now. Absolute. Easily top 5. In my humble opinion. Easily top 5 ZVZ players right now. I might even say top 3. I'm a little bit more hesitant to say top 3, but I think it's very possible. I think it's very possible that TrutaCz, TechnicS, and Zeki could be the best 3 ZVZ players right now. Alright. TechnicS. TechnicS with an overpool. Overpool into Expo. It wasn't an overgas, it was an overpool. Well, Zergling's gonna be out in time. Interesting. Once again, we see a situation where TechnicS would normally build an in-base hatch. Overpool, he definitely usually builds an in-base hatch off of that. But no, he's gonna play it greedy. He's gonna play it greedy and go for the expo. Oh, shoot. I forgot to go and check my mic situations. Somebody in the chat is pointing out other good players. Yeah, Michael, obviously also very good ZVZ, and that's why I'm a little bit hesitant about saying top 3, because there's people like Michael. There's people like South Park. South Park's pretty damn good too. And it's like, well, is South Park 3rd and TechnicS 4th? Maybe. They're so close. It's so close. Easily top 5, quite possibly top 3. Anyway, TechnicS, I'm interested to see how he plays this overpool. Right now, he does not have the ling production, but that hatchery's up. So, he'll get more lings eventually. But man, if that's why you place it in base. Because you know you're going to be at a disadvantage with the lings right now. And if it was in the base, you wouldn't have to worry about this liability. You wouldn't have to worry about that very scary thing being out there. But now TechnicS has to micro. He has to micro really, really well to control 2 packs of lings in 2 situations, producing off of 2 non-close hatcheries, and to constantly keep an eye. It's a ticking clock, man. It's a ticking clock that just whittles away. Just whittles away every now and then. Great play. This is a mark of a great ZVZ player. When you're jockeying for position with your lings, some of your lings are jockeying, 2 are attacking. It's a beautiful, beautiful move to really put pressure on your opponent. And now, this is a great situation for him. He's picking off lings as they spawn, he's surrounding the eggs, and this is TechnicS' only option. TechnicS caught in a really bad spot right now. Yeah, hatchery goes down, all the lings go down, and now some of the drones are going to be lost. TechnicS, valiant effort to go for the fast expo after overpool, but just a smidgen too greedy. Would have been fun to see it versus something other than an iron pool. And TechnicS can't handle it. And Poland, well, that's the wrong direction. Poland's gonna go with a nice series to take it. Excuse me, to take the overall score 0-1.